Hi guys, welcome to another video. If I want to buy something from Chanel and I don't want to pay the price for it, as none of us do, we all want a little bit of a bargain, don't we? And I go down the pre-loved route, what do I find? Well, I find fakes and replicas and inspired by and a whole heap of overwhelm. How do we cut that out? What do we do to ensure that we can buy something and we can be sure of what we're actually buying? Well, I've landed myself in a little bit of hot water. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, let's get going. So I love a luxury bag. I think you can all tell I do. And ideally, I would be buying everything new from store all of the time. However, the prices of some of these luxury houses are just insanely ridiculous. So if I did want, I'll just grab one of my gorgeous Chanel bags. I've talked about wanting a classic flap from Chanel. I have a jumbo, which is up there somewhere. I don't know if you can just see it. It's up there. So I've got the classic flap in the jumbo size, but I would love a smaller version of it. This is a mini, so this isn't classed as the classic flap, even though it's very reminiscent. The prices of these, the prices of a classic flap in a medium large size is nearly £10,000. It's either 9 or just anyway, it's a ridiculous amount of money. So I refuse to pay that amount of money for a classic flap. I just do. However, if I go down the pre-love route or the reseller consignment route to try and find one at a reasonable price, because we all love a bargain, don't we? How could I be sure what I am buying and that I am buying something that is real? Because even to the human eye, we can get it wrong. I feel like I'm a reasonable, I've got a little bit of experience in the handbag world, and it's only from, I'm not an authenticator by any stretch of the imagination, but I do have quite a lot of knowledge because I've been buying these things for, longer than I care to think about. 30 years of buying handbags, and I do a lot of research because I love it. And obviously I've got this channel and I do feel I've got some knowledge. And I can get it completely wrong. I absolutely can. So I can't rely on myself to be 100% sure for me or for somebody else. So I always use Legit Grails, and I just want to thank Legit Grails for sponsoring this segment of my video because it is so important, guys. If you want to authenticate something, whether it is something you're thinking of buying, it is so easy to use this service and it just gives you that peace of mind. Literally, it's so easy to use. Have a look at the reviews. They've got Trustpilot, excellent reviews. I was having a look this morning at all the reviews, and there's just literally review after review. Everybody just says what a fabulous service it is, and I just think that is testament to the company. It is, as I say, it's so easy to use, and I'll put on the screen here a little bit of what you do. Basically, you just upload the photos. Now, if you're buying something from somebody and they refuse to send you extra photos of all these little details, red flag. So that way, hopefully you can authenticate it one way or the other before you commit to buying it. If that isn't a possibility and you need to get hold of the item, at least use a reseller that has a return policy, a return period, so that you can get it home. You can look at it and get hold of it yourself and see what you think of it. Make sure it is in the condition and all the rest of it that you think you have bought. You can do all the photos, you can upload them. And as I say, it is so easy. And if you're very impatient like me, you can get your answer in 30 minutes. Obviously, the price depends on, you can do it over 24 hours or you can do it 30 minutes or a couple in between as well. And that means that if you are, say you're wanting a certain bag and you're worried it's going to be sold, you can get an answer in 30 minutes. So that is just absolutely incredible. And because Legit Grails use AI and humans to actually have a look at these things, I don't think, and this is just me talking here, my opinion, I don't think human alone can actually know all of the different styles, all of the different quirks that all these bags might have, all the changes they've made over the years. And that's where AI comes in, because Louis Vuitton bags, for example, Chanel bags, for example, the leathers do change over the years. The placement of certain things do change over the years. So you can't look at one thing and say that that is always there on a certain bag. Things do change. So I just think it's really important to use an authentication service that has the depth of knowledge. Anyway, I just want to give you a little story as well, as a little aside, because I might be on the hunt for a classic flap. However, my brother-in-law runs a charity store, and I've talked about this before, where sometimes a donation comes in and there is a luxury bag in the donation. Now this actually came in, and it wasn't just a big pile of stuff that came in. This was a Philip Tracy hat, there was something else, there was a few different things. There was a Chanel beanie hat, and then there was a Chanel Cocoa Crush bag. And because he knows me really well, he always drops me a line and says, what do you think about this one? Because it's very important that that charity, one, raises as much money as possible. So if they do have a luxury bag on their hands that somebody's kindly donated, then it could be absolutely amazing for them. But there's always a red flag, because to me, if you know what you are donating, why not sell it, get the funds and give it to charity? Why would you give it to, just donate it to charity? Because it may end up not bringing in as much money as it should, because people don't know what it is exactly. So it may be that it's a red flag to start with, that maybe it is a fake bag, or maybe it is being donated because somebody's doing a house clearance or something and they literally do not know what they've got, so they've just donated it. Who knows why people do what they do, but it's very important for the charity not to sell something that's fake. It's just very, very important. So my brother-in-law always asks me for my opinion. Now, there are times where certain things are definite fakes, absolutely definite fakes, and I can tell certain things. But I always use legit Grails to just give peace of mind, because if that bag was real, I would love to be able to, sell that on behalf of the charity, because I would just do that for them, because it's easier that way, that I I have some knowledge on selling bags and what price and whatever else, and that money all goes to charity. And I don't want to say to him that something is fake if I'm wrong, that way around, if I'm wrong and actually they end up not selling the bag, and they could have got, especially a Chanel Cocoa Crush bag, they could go for £2,500–3,000, more than that in some cases. So that'd do so much good for the charity. So anyway, let's have a look at this bag, because I got him to send all the photos and a video and everything else. And let's just have a look. There are a couple of red flags. You have to be an expert to catch these things. The stitching, the feel of the leather. Now, obviously I didn't get hold of the bag, but he did, and he said it felt really luxurious. It didn't feel cheap plastic or anything like that. The fact that it was a Cocoa Crush bag, and that's the one that's got the little ball on the chain, and you can adjust the chain length because of it. I got him to hold the chain. He said the chain and the ball were really heavy, which is the case, because a lot of people complain that the real ones are actually, the chain is actually quite heavy and it's a bit annoying. So again, that looked like it could be. And also the fact it was a Cocoa Crush, I did think these are not easily replicated. Chanel, the classic flaps, certain Louis Vuitton bags like the Neverfulls, the Speedies, all of ones like that. There are certain bags that have so many fakes done of them because they're easy to do. The Chanel Cocoa Crush would be harder, I believe, to replicate, because people who are making these fakes, as the certain bags that are just harder to make, especially with the Cocoa Crush with the ball, would they go to all of that trouble to make a fake? Well, yes they did. Yes they did, because to be 100% sure, I said we're putting it through legit Grails. We're not just relying on me. My view is that this is fake. We couldn't find a date code in it, which was the biggest red flag of all. But then I didn't get hold of the bag. My brother-in-law was trying to find it. Maybe it was hidden in the pocket or somewhere, but we couldn't find one. So for me, that was an absolute red flag. There was a couple of things on the stitching, and I wasn't sure about the font used on the inside of the bag. But other than that, some of it was slightly misaligned, but it wasn't that bad. And as I say, it looked like a really beautiful bag. So anyway, we put it through Legit Grails because it took 30 minutes. It comes back, it's fake. So it is what we thought, it is fake. But at least we have that that doubt has gone now. We know, and unfortunately for the charity, yeah, it's a very, very difficult one for them. Hi guys, just to cut in, as I'm editing, I've just realised that I never went back to the point about getting myself in hot water. What I meant by that is that when I have talked on my channel, and particularly on TikTok, about fakes or duplicates or replicas or inspired by, I get myself into trouble. So I just wanted to say that this video is about, if you want the real thing and you want to buy it pre-loved and you want some reassurance that it is authentic, or you just want to know one way or the other, then that is what we're talking about. If you particularly want a fake and you want to go out and buy a fake, that is entirely up to you. I am not telling you what to do. I personally would not like to buy a fake, but this is for people who are thinking that they are buying the real thing and end up with a fake, and that is not okay, is it? If you're going out to buy a fake and you know it's a fake and you're happy to buy one, that's up to you. That is up to you. So I'm going to try and stay out of hot water by telling anybody what they should or should not be doing. And that's it. So I just thought I would share that with you, because sometimes the fakes are really, really good. And it is just worth, for the amount of money that we spend on these bags, or that we are about to spend on something, none of these bags are cheap. It is worth just spending a few dollars, because that's really all it is, just to put this through an authentication service like Legit Grails. They are, and I'm just telling you from my point of view, working with them has been an absolute pleasure. Their customer service is amazing, our interactions are amazing, and that always tells me everything I need to know about the business that I'm working with. It's not just their service of the thing that they do, it's how they interact on the business side of things. And yeah, they're just fabulous. So thank you to Legit Grails. I will put all of the details on screen or in the description box. Go and get your things authenticated. You will not be sorry. At worst, it confirms what you thought. You've spent a few dollars, and then you've got that authentication certificate, assuming that it is real. You have then got that, and if you then sell on the bag, whatever else, then you've got that. And I just think that that gives your future buyer peace of mind as well. So how am I going to go about this? Well, I'm going to use there's a couple of resellers that I really do trust, and I am going to keep my eye out. I'm not going on a full hunt for it just at the moment, because I'm on a big pause. I am on a big pause. But if one comes along at the right sort of price, but I will be using Legit Grails, because even the resellers, you know, they're dealing with so many different things. And even if it comes with an authentication certificate from another place and it comes through the reseller, I want to do my own due diligence, if I can even say that. I want to do my own due diligence, because it's too much money to get wrong. It just is. So that's where I am with it. If anybody happens to see a black with gold hardware, caviar, or maybe a dark coloured, it doesn't have to be black necessarily, caviar, medium, large or small, classic flap for sale at a really good price. But again, if it's too good a price, it's probably too good to be true, so that's always a red flag as well. So yeah, just listen to your gut as well. If something feels wrong, walk away from it. Walk away from it. That is my absolute advice, because your gut usually tells you if something feels a bit off. So do not Don't chance it. Don't waste all that money. It is literally, it would be devastating. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another one.